Hello, Upper East Siders. You know you love me.
The OG Gossip Girl cast is in the news for something. It warms my heart because I love them all so much. But this is a really interesting article that I read. Penn Badgley says his relationship with Blake Lively saved him. So we all know them as Dan and Serena, obviously, but they dated from 2007. Well, TBD on their start date, till 2010. But Penn says in an interview with Variety that his former relationship with Lively, whom he was romantically involved with for 3 years during their time on Gossip Girl,
What's it like to film a wedding scene with an ex? Was that weird?
I'm still processing it. No.
For years, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have embodied the ideal Hollywood couple. With their humor, charm, and effortless chemistry, they seem straight out of a romantic comedy. Whether they're playfully roasting each other on social media or strolling hand in hand down the red carpet, their love story has captured the hearts of fans around the world.
Servicing interview from the Glamour 2009 magazine that Blake Lively was in, talking about how she poisoned the cast against her now ex-boyfriend that she left for Ryan Reynolds, Penn Badgley.
I can fake empathy pretty well, you know?
I am his home, and our girls are his home. And just like that 19-year-old boy, he races home. Whether it's from across the globe or a meeting across the street, he is hardwired to get home. If he came home from set not in his wardrobe, we would be very concerned. Soaked in mud, fake blood, real blood, prosthetic scars, superhero suits, tap shoes, or clown makeup, Daddy always comes home. And that man races back to his real life like nothing I have ever seen, especially not by someone who's able to be so all in his work life. He's able to somehow be everything to everyone all at once. He is the most present person you will ever meet. And yes, he creates magic in his work, but man, oh man, does he create magic in his real life. Home is where his heart is, which is why he gives so much of his heart back to his home.
But what if everything we believed about them was just a meticulously crafted illusion? What if their marriage wasn't as perfect as it appeared? Penn Badgley, Blake's former Gossip Girl co-star and real-life ex-boyfriend, has just made a revelation that's rocked Hollywood and beyond. His words have sparked intense debates among fans and ignited rampant speculation about what might be happening behind closed doors.
Blake and Penn were also on The View in 2007, I believe. She denied the rumors about her and Leighton not being friends, being more like frenemies, like their characters on The Gossip Girl. Even though Blake has been seen in some interviews not being the nicest to her co-stars and making fun of Leighton's upbringing.
Recently saying that Leighton and I were frenemies. And it's
frenemies. Is that the new term? Frenemies?
Yeah, we're friends, but we're also enemies. And it's they see our characters on the show, and they want that to be true in a sense. I think they want everybody's characters in real life to emulate that. And it's really strange because they always want to pit women against each other. You don't hear about like Penn and Chase hating each other and being jealous and competitive. So it's very silly. But you know, we all do get along very well, and it's upsetting that they have to do that to try to sell magazines. There's enough gossip on the show, just watch that.
Is Blake and Ryan's marriage really as flawless as it seems? Or is it just another case of Hollywood's obsession with maintaining a perfect image? With recent revelations stirring up speculation, it's time to dive deeper and examine whether their seemingly perfect relationship is all it appears to be or just another carefully crafted facade. Let's unpack everything and see what's really going on behind the scenes.
Finale of Gossip Girl. It was revealed that the very lovely Kristen Bell was lending her voice to my character, to Dan Humphrey, who is the real Gossip Girl. Sorry, spoiler alert. I thought I would repay the favor. I'm going to put a little narrative spin on Kristen's
Penn Badgley has always steered clear of unnecessary Hollywood drama. Unlike many of his co-stars, he's maintained a low profile, prioritizing his craft over tabloid gossip. However, during a recent podcast appearance on Pod Crushed, he made a comment that quickly set social media ablaze.
You're in a lifeboat. You can only bring 3 of your co-stars on it with you. Who are they?
From the show.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so divisive.
I know.
I'll take 3.
Yeah.
Blake, Chase, and Ed.
Blake, okay. Who's a better singer, Leighton Meester or Taylor Momsen?
That interview was from 2016. I wonder what Penn would say now in 2025. One of those members would be left to swim up the river themselves. Oh, and P.S. Not that this means anything, but Penn Badgley does follow Justin Baldoni on Instagram. And now does ex Blake Lively.
When asked about on-set romances and the truth behind Hollywood relationships, Penn responded in a way that immediately caught attention. He said, "Some of the most stable marriages you see are performances, and when you work closely with someone, you see the script." That comment alone left people questioning what he meant. But things took an even more surprising turn when the host pressed him, asking if he was referring to Blake Lively. Instead of denying or clarifying, Penn smirked and replied, "I'll let you read between the lines."
Every single interview this woman has done to her wrongdoings and thinks it's okay. She thinks it's fine, enough that they can publish it in a magazine for millions to read. Now, if you remember, Penn Badgley and Blake Lively dated from 2007 to 2010, and this interview was actually in 2009, so 2 years after they started dating. She was comfortable enough to say this about him after they had been dating for 2 years. If I was him, would be pissed when I heard this. It said in the interview that she was so upset when they cast him that she turned the whole cast against him, saying, "I was first upset that they hired him. I actually poisoned the whole cast against him, but then they noticed that he wasn't a jerk and was actually a really nice, charming person. Almost immediately, I realized that too, but it took me about a week to admit it."
And just like that, speculation exploded across social media. Penn's comments spread like wildfire, and the internet wasted no time analyzing their meaning. Fans began digging through old interviews, studying body language during public appearances, and even revisiting their famously playful social media interactions. Could it be that Blake and Ryan's picture-perfect romance is actually a carefully crafted PR strategy?
February and March of 2023, Justin and Ryan are having a lot of friendly text messages. Justin reaches out to Ryan to let him know that he got his number through Blake and he just really wanted to reach out and say hello. Justin basically explains to Ryan what a big fan he's been of both Ryan and Blake's work and that he's just a supporter from afar. But the text message that stands out to me is this one over here, which is a little blurry, and I'm just gonna read it to you guys. This one's from Ryan. "What a loving and generous message. Thank you. We're both looking forward to getting to know you and your family better. We're also big fans over here. Since before we met and more so after. You've been a wonderful collaborator with B, and that means a great deal to both of us. Being a stand-up person is everything, and you've been just that since day one. Thank you. You hit the jackpot with B. She literally passes on every film and every filmmaker." I don't know about that. "One thing I know, and I speak from deep wellsprung of experience here, having her in your court behind the scenes as a creative is invaluable, and I'm certain she would say this."
Some theories propose that their marriage is a strategically beneficial branding move. Both Blake and Ryan have established incredibly successful careers, and together they form an unstoppable power couple. Their public image, centered around their playful and loving relationship, has only made them more marketable in the entertainment industry.
Ryan Reynolds filed his motion to dismiss himself from the lawsuit, which is basically saying, "Your Honor, I don't want to be a part of this anymore. Please allow me to exit the room." So for example, they said, "So what does Ryan Reynolds have to do with that, legally speaking, other than being a supportive spouse who witnessed the first-hand emotional and financial devastation Miss Lively has suffered? ? Nothing." They bolded it. Mr. Reynolds is a defendant in this action for one reason and one reason only, because billionaire Steve Sarowitz promised to spend $100 million to ruin Miss Lively and Mr. Reynolds' life.
Think about it. How often do we see them in public without a carefully staged moment of affection or humor? Their social media interactions, while hilarious, also help keep their names in the spotlight. It's no secret that Hollywood thrives on optics, and a happy, stable couple like Blake and Ryan is incredibly valuable in an industry built on storytelling and image.
As I said before, the times I've interviewed Ryan Reynolds, he's always been super nice, very friendly, and that's the most of my colleagues, reporter colleagues, always thought Ryan Reynolds was a good guy. Now we learn new things about him, and we're all sitting there like, oh my God, we were all.
But is it all just a performance? As speculation swirled, other Hollywood figures began weighing in, either directly or indirectly, on the controversy. Blake Lively has long been close friends with Taylor Swift, and Swifties are well aware that Taylor often hides subtle messages in her songs. Around the time the controversy erupted, Taylor performed The Archer, a song about grappling with perception and feeling confined by a perfect image. Was this just a coincidence, or was Taylor subtly addressing Blake's situation?
I'm lucky to have good friends who make time for me, like they know me and they know that I bite off more than I can chew and I have 4,000 children. And, they're like, I need to come to her. Like her apartment is the vortex and it is a black hole, and I will come to her to see her. All of my friendships in my life are people who build me up to my best, highest self. When I'm feeling good or when I'm feeling down, they're always reminding me of who I am, and that reminder is always like the most aspirational version of me. I feel like they're people who are direct. They're people who will be hard on me when they're like, hey, here's where I see you struggle. And then they also give me the grace to do that for them. So yeah, I think it's just about surrounding yourself with people who genuinely want to see you soar, and surrounding yourself with people who you genuinely want to see.
Supermodel Gigi Hadid, another close friend of Blake's, shared a cryptic Instagram story shortly after Penn's podcast aired. The post read, "Loyalty isn't about standing by someone when things are easy. It's about standing by them when things are complicated." Many interpreted this as a subtle hint that Blake might be facing a tough time behind closed doors.
Can we get the lights on? Can we just get the house lights on? Because I want to be able to...
Hello, Hugh. Ryan. I have been lucky enough to have, he's my gotcha for life, right here. I mean it. Thank you, Gus. I'm his second best friend. All right, Gus. Jesus, I'm so sorry. It's just awful. And I just want to, like, I know we were supposed to finish this bit where this two security gentlemen come and they try to take the mic from me. It's like a struggle, and then they tase me, and I go down, and then they hog tie me, and then they put me in the Radio City music garbage dump, and then they just light it on fire. But I wanted to actually just say, I love this man. I care about this man. He is genuinely the best human being I know. And I have 4 children. He is the best. Enjoy the rest of the show. You owe me $100.
Yeah, I love you, Ryan. I love you, Ryan.
And keep the mic.
I love you, man. But you like fifth gotcha for life.
When Ryan Reynolds' longtime friend and fellow actor Hugh Jackman was asked about the controversy during a red carpet interview, his response was measured and cautious. "Ryan's a great guy. I don't get involved in personal matters." The slight hesitation in his voice only fueled further speculation. With so many industry figures either speaking in riddles or avoiding the question entirely, it only deepened the growing belief that something might be amiss.
I had 2 surgeries, but I went to the hospital and I was so excited. I have a lot of like dad jokes. So I went to the hospital and I just like couldn't wait for the doctor to like ask me about my hand. And he's like, "What happened?" And I said, "I got in a fight." Which, like, you know, he didn't know it was a movie. And he goes, "Oh, really?" And I go, "Yeah, you should see the other guy." I've always wanted to do that.
Oh my God.
But then, the doctor's like, "Oh, where is he in the other room or is he on stand?" And I was like, "No, it's the you should see the
joke. You should see the other guy.
Yeah,
if I was like this, you should see the
the joke just totally like crashed. So it was.
At this point, the internet is split into several major theories about what's really happening behind the scenes in Blake and Ryan's marriage. The theory that their relationship is merely a business arrangement is gaining momentum. As 2 A-listers, with massive personal brands, their partnership helps them stay relevant and broaden their influence. Some argue that their witty, playful online interactions seem too perfectly curated to be spontaneous. Could it all be scripted?
New York Times, I want people to understand, doesn't just report stories. They build narratives. And when they decide that you're the villain, they really don't care about the facts. They care about the clothes.
Some fans believe Penn's comments alluded to a much darker issue within Blake and Ryan's marriage. Could there be infidelity? Are they staying together solely for the sake of their brand and children? Hollywood has witnessed its share of high-profile couples who put on a brave front for the cameras while privately struggling with a deteriorating relationship.
I'd like to film a wedding scene with an ex. Was that weird?
I'm still processing it. No, you know what's funny? I don't really know what, in terms of it being awkward. I mean, like, I sure don't think it was awkward for anybody. Like, I think, from my memory, I'm pretty sure we were exes for nearly half of the entire run of the series. You know, it's like it lasted for nearly 6 years, and I don't think we were together longer than 2, something like that. So yeah, I mean, we went through. It was actually, we always were very professional. We had to do all kinds of nutso stuff.
Let's not forget that Penn and Blake were once romantically involved. Could his comment have been driven by personal resentment rather than a genuine revelation? Did something happen between them that made him want to take a subtle dig at her? Some believe Penn's words were less about exposing a scandal and more about settling an old score.
You guys actually sent me this video with Alanis Morissette, who used to date Ryan Reynolds. They were actually engaged. They dated from 2002 to 2007. And apparently, according to her, she wrote a whole album almost about him. To get over the pain, it was a horrible breakup. So not too long ago, this interview that Alanis Morissette did with Howard Stern resurfaced, and she talks about how painful her breakup was.
He's a nobody. No, really, I mean, who is he? I didn't know anything about it. When you were in love with him, I didn't like it. I thought the guy was a douchebag.
Well, you know Howard Stern, so he's really trying to dig in there and get her to talk about how horrible the breakup was.
You were engaged?
I was.
So what, he comes home and announces he's with another broad?
No.
How does that all work?
I don't know if she admitted, but it seemed like, that he started a relationship with Scarlett Johansson before the relationship with her had ended.
My experience with narcissism, I was the supply for them. I was there as an appendage or a server or a servant to their agenda.
These are people who are really good at putting out this incredibly sort of, if they want to be warm and empathic, they can be warm and empathic.
They can fake it.
They can fake it.
And there I was 13 years later going, oh my God, the empathy was fake.
I can fake empathy pretty well. I can.
One of the most suspicious aspects of this entire situation is Blake and Ryan's silence. Usually they're quick to clap back at rumors or respond with humor when speculation swirls around them. Yet in this case, they've remained eerily quiet. Blake has even limited comments on some of her Instagram posts, which only fuels the fire. Meanwhile, Ryan, known for his witty Twitter presence, hasn't made a single joke about the situation. Could they be trying to avoid drawing more attention? Or is there something deeper at play?
Penn says in an interview with Variety that his former relationship with Lively, whom he was romantically involved with for 3 years during their time on Gossip Girl, helped him. Quote, beyond our relationship, I don't think anybody was going to be interested in me publicly. The fame that came their way was massive, the actor said, and views that time in his 20s as both, quote, fun and fast-paced, while also having a, quote, dark undercurrent that would bottom out in my later 20s. When asked to clarify, Penn Badgley said, quote, to be honest, I never struggled with substance. He said, Blake didn't drink, and I think our relationship in some ways saved me from being forced to go down that road. Badgley, who is currently starring in the hit Netflix series You, married singer-actress Domino Kirk in 2017. Lively has been married to actor Ryan Reynolds since 2012. Of course, we all know Blake has her company Benny Buzz, which is a non-alcoholic mixer, so this all tracks. Honestly, as somebody who doesn't really drink either, that's why we got that glow.
Hollywood thrives on mystery, and this story shows no signs of fading anytime soon. If Blake and Ryan don't address the rumors soon, the speculation will only intensify. Fans will continue to scrutinize their every move, looking for any clue to the truth. At the same time, Penn Badgley's comment has placed him under the microscope as well, with some questioning his motives. Was he truly revealing something or simply stirring the pot? One thing is clear, whether it's true or not, this controversy has altered how people perceive Blake and Ryan's marriage. The next time they step onto the red carpet together, all eyes will be on them, searching for any signs of the truth behind the Hollywood facade.
Ryan Reynolds admits that he made his daughter, who's then 7, her name is Inez, made her say really inappropriate things. And now people are like, oh my God, what kind of parents are they to do this to their daughter? And I have to say, I am pretty shocked myself.
So, what do you think? Is Penn revealing a hidden truth? Or is this just another case of Hollywood gossip spiraling out of control? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into celebrity mysteries, because in Hollywood, nothing is ever as perfect as it seems.